Trauma displays itself in a spectrum of ways and is different for every person. When interacting with someone that has been through hard times, you may notice something is off, but have a hard time putting your finger on it. In this video, we're going to be looking at 7 common ways that trauma shows itself. They are uncomfortable with people. Someone struggling with trauma may have many signs similar to social anxiety, and perhaps that can be a part of it. Psychotherapist Katie Gillis states that people who grew up in unstable and chaotic environments that constantly required them to be on their toes can continue these trends later in life. Things like going out in crowded places, answering phone calls, or having an unexpected visitor at the door can lead to stress, especially when they haven't had time to prepare. Gillis explains that this may arise from situations where they have consistently had their boundaries violated or were put on the spot. Various social situations can mimic these traumatic moments where they were berated, hurt, or humiliated in the past, and they will do their best to avoid it. This can strain friendships and make theoretically fun events draining. They shut down or isolate. We can't always control our situations, and sometimes something unexpected happens. For someone with trauma, these unexpected situations can have profound effects. One of the ways they may deal with them is by shutting down. Psychotherapist Katie Gillis says that it's common for these people to go quiet in social situations. They may withdraw in other ways by finding a distraction or excusing themselves to the bathroom or outside. Different people have different triggers, so things like loud noises or familiar people, even those that look or act similar to someone they know, can lead to a trauma response. Sometimes going out is too unpredictable, causing someone to stay in. In other cases, they plan out what they're going to do in detail. When they arrive at a place, they may locate exits or look over their shoulder in case something happens. This level of preparation can be exhausting, and still something unexpected can happen that can be difficult to cope with. They have compulsions. Trauma can lead to compulsory behavior. According to the Chicago Behavioral Hospital, this may mean substance abuse. Drinking excessively and using drugs are common, but also other habits like overeating. Katie Gillis gives another example of a compulsion where some people with trauma will maintain a certain level of physical distance from people they interact with, getting uncomfortable the closer the person is. Compulsions can be a coping mechanism to mask uncomfortable feelings, but also a preventative measure to prevent these feelings from happening in the first place. Sue and Stone from the Australian Journal of General Practice explain that relationships can be affected as well. People who have suffered from trauma, especially early on, may have intense love-hate relationships with people, which can lead to them being victims of abuse or even perpetrators of it. They deal with physical symptoms. Mental health and physical health are related. A Psych Guides article explains how dealing with trauma can manifest itself physically. While your overall appearance may be affected, looking pale and lethargic, it's also possible to have sexual problems, aches, pains, and difficulty sleeping. These issues can increase during stressful periods, making it harder to function physically on top of your mental state. An article from the Lake Behavioral Hospital explains how people diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, have neurological changes which can affect metabolism, neurotransmitter levels, and neuron health, which can have more direct impact on your physical health. They excessively apologize. Psych Guides goes on to say that talking to someone with trauma can be a unique experience. They may appear disoriented or respond oddly to others. Apologizing constantly, even over things that the person with trauma has no control over, is also common. Psychotherapist Katie Gillis explains that this may be a response to growing up in a highly critical environment where everything is made to be your fault. A person with trauma may always feel at fault for any misfortune that happens and will try to make amends with you to avoid your rejection or ridicule, even if you wouldn't react that way. They have emotional outbursts. The Lake Behavioral Hospital talks about how physical changes in your body chemistry affect physical health, but also that these changes impact behavior as well. They state that changes to the amygdala, hippocampus, and anterior cingulate cortex can impact your memory and emotional reactions. People with trauma may have a shorter fuse, become easily flustered, and experience mood swings. Emotions can be hard to control in triggering situations. As we mentioned earlier, findings from the Australian Journal of General Practice show that heightened emotionality can affect relationships. People with trauma may flip between idealizing or devaluing people in their life, which can have negative outcomes, sometimes leading to abusing or being abused. They disassociate. Disassociation is mentally disconnecting from a situation. People with trauma may do this in situations that they are unable to escape from. Dr. Lori Lawrence from Psych Central describes how this is a freeze response, a specific trauma response like fight or flight. She states that freezing and dissociation are similar to an animal playing dead to survive. While dissociating is meant to protect you in stressful situations, it can be problematic when it is triggered by everyday happenings. When something triggers you, be it a person, a scent, or visual, it can be difficult to come back from it when you are mentally detached. Trauma is difficult for everyone, even though it shows itself in different ways. Everyone struggles with it. It's important when dealing with trauma to talk with a mental health professional. When unchecked, it can affect your quality of life and relationships. A qualified mental health professional can help work through these hard times and give you the tools and skills to better manage and process these feelings. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and share it with someone you think will benefit from it. Let us know your thoughts on it in the comment section. Remember to subscribe to Psych2Go to keep up with our content, and take care.